Looks like we're live here. We'll just give it a few seconds for Franco to get back. But we're super excited about sharing the information on the Be Immune Plus. This is I really think it's a one-of-a-kind product. Franco reached out to me maybe, geez, Franco, was it like 3 or 4 months ago, maybe 5 months ago even, when you first said, hey, you know, we're on to something pretty exciting here, and I wanted to see if you had an interest in launching it. I don't remember when you first reached out, but probably 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh my gosh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you just froze up there. I didn't hear what you were saying. The internet.
Okay. Basically, all I was doing, Franco, is just kind of a quick introduction. I don't remember exactly when it was that you reached out and was just kind of telling me about this immune product that you had and some of the research that you were doing. And it happened to literally be probably the same week or maybe a week or two after we just launched an immune product called Be Immune. And so I was like, you know, we're probably not too interested. You know, we're just launching this right now, and is really based on vitamin C, zinc, colostrum, and just kind of your basic immune product. And we thought that, hey, you know, we're pretty well covered here. But then we launched this gem. You know, something I'm probably more excited about than anything is the Regenerate product with you, and then started talking a little bit more about what you had going on with the immune product. And really, you know, I just thought this is something we have to get in people's hands. I mean, we can't keep this on the shelf there in the lab. People have to know about this, especially with what's going on in the world. It's literally almost unbelievable. I think if we all went back to, you know, January 1st, 2020, all excited. It's going to be an amazing year. Every January 1st, it's going to be so awesome. I'm, you know, so excited to, you know, travel and my New Year's resolutions and all of these things. And then all of a sudden you start hearing some stuff, you know, mid-January and then February, and then all of a sudden March, at least here in the US. I mean, literally the world as we know it is no longer. And so, I mean, it's so crazy. I'm used to traveling at least once or twice a month, pretty much all 12 months, all over the world. And it's just different. And so we wanted to have you on, Franco, because people are hearing about things that they should do to protect themselves, to protect their family, protect their loved ones. And there's a lot of confusion, meaning what product should I take? I mean, am I good with just vitamin C? Am I good with, you know, zinc? Do I need to, you know, take this or take that? And so what I would like, Franco, if you start, since most of the people haven't met you as I have and don't know your background and all of the stuff you did, would you take just a couple minutes and explain your background and really what you do there at Biologic Pharmaceutical?
Yes,
Pharmamedical, sorry.
Pharmamedical, yeah. So I've been involved in the natural health industry for about 30 years, and you know, initially started into the industry as an athlete. I was a bodybuilder while studying at the University of British Columbia, my undergrad in human nutrition, and you know, I leveraged all of what I was learning there to advance my bodybuilding career, and it was more or less, you know, performance oriented. But you know, as you progress through the career, you have injuries, you have challenges. And so, you know, I began to study more about, you know, metabolic and immune system optimization for, you know, performance as well as longevity. And, you know, early on, I mean, my bodybuilding career took off. You know, I was Mr. Vancouver, Mr. British Columbia, Mr. Western Canada, Mr. Canada, went on to win Mr. IFBB North America in Los Angeles. And, you know, and then I kind of stepped back and said, okay, this is a great experience. I can continue, but I really enjoyed the research because I was involved in biomedical research at the time, and had wanted to finish my doctorate. But I decided, you know, let me launch a sports nutrition company in the industry. And if it does well, I'll stay with the industry and I'll use the funds from the company to actually finance research, because that was my real passion. And ever since then, that's what I did. We started our own laboratory, and the objective was to actually use the pharmaceutical drug research models, but to study nutraceutical compounds. And the objective was, at the time and still is today, to utilize the same principles and research strategies that the medical field uses, so that once we make these discoveries, the medical community could not refute what we're studying and what we're finding, because it's done the same way. The research modeled precisely the same way as the pharmaceutical industry does their research. So it's valid, and then we publish our papers in the general medical journals so that they're referenced and peer reviewed. So not only is it our research center discovering and finding these amazing things, then we send them to a journal that's independent from us to have them peer reviewed and then published. And so it creates credibility, and for us then helps us validate what we're doing. And we've been doing a great job at this, patent after patent and discovery after discovery, because the nutraceutical space, the natural product space, has so many great products. But the problem is standardization and picking through the components of these nutraceutical compounds. So what we do is break them down into their constituents and then take the actives and study them individually so that we can precisely map the pharmacology to the proteome and genome of our cells. And then we're better able to use them with greater accuracy when we put them back together. And this is what we're doing. And you know, year after year, we've seen validation. In fact, I went back for a period of time, back to university, because I did not complete my PhD at the time, and I started a business, and the business took off, and I stayed with that. And I went back to the experimental medicine program at the Faculty of Medicine at UBC to study these compounds in the context of medical allopathic strategies further and deeper than I had originally planned. And here we are today in our own biomedical research center, carrying on what we started 30 years ago at a level now. And this is where this is amazing. With COVID, the research we had done over the last 7 years coincided with the pathology of the COVID disease. And so Health Canada has, with us, reviewed our previous research that was published in the peer-reviewed journals. And they said, well, when did you actually publish these studies? Because these are almost overlapping the pharmacology of the cytokine storm that's associated with the COVID pathology. And, you know, these were published in 2017, 18, and then here we have in 2019 and 20, late 19 and 2020, the manifestation of the COVID disease. So they have approved us based on the initial and preliminary work. They've approved our clinical research utilizing the technology that we actually use in the BEPIC immune product, which is unfathomable. So now we're actually preparing, we're preparing the final details of the trial, collecting the patients. And what we are looking to accomplish, and we've already shown this in the peer-reviewed journals, is that we can mitigate the cytokine storm that can damage the body upon the infection with the coronavirus, and allow the body then to, the objective with the clinical trials to show that we want to allow the body to progress through the disease and take the course that the normal flu would take. And then your body goes into what we call adaptive immunity, to produce its own antibodies without creating the same risk that some people have for morbidity and mortality. As we know, the coronavirus for some people is relatively benign in terms of the effects. And for a lot of people who have underlying conditions or predispositions, it can be lethal. And so the lethality in many ways is caused by the immune system ramping up into this cytokine storm, an exacerbated response that then creates damage to the body, and the body fails to recover from both the infection as well as its own immune system. And so we've been able to pose this to the government. The government has said, you know, this looks sound, and they finally gave us a notice of authorization, and we're ready to move forward now with the patients on the trial. And the beautiful thing is that because we've already gained approval for this technology in the marketplace before the clinical trial, we've already gone to market to support the population with the product that's a variant of what we're going to use in the clinical trial. And this is what you've got now for the population. It's just an amazing opportunity to serve humanity. And you know, and through you guys with, you know, your messaging and distribution opportunity, it's just heartwarming.
Well, I appreciate it, Franco. And that's really what our goal is, especially with what we have coming up. This call is specifically for, you know, around the 400,000 people on this 100% Epic page. We want to give them the information because this is coming out for the first time. We don't even have it in the warehouse yet. It's on its way now. I think we're getting it late this afternoon or tomorrow. So I, for one, am extremely excited to, use it and get it to everybody I know, love, and care about. But we also want to get it out to as many people as we possibly can. We have 100,000, as you know, bottles coming in, and we're doing a buy two, get one free on Black Friday through Cyber Monday. So it's an awesome opportunity for people to try this product. So let's talk a little bit about the product specifically. Again, we're calling it Be Immune Plus. And the reason I want to emphasize that plus is because this product, from discussions with you and the knowledge of the studies and stuff like that, is much more than just supporting the immune system. What it has with your curcumin and some of the other technology for anti-aging, for anti-inflammatory, I really think that it's something that people should take every day, all the time, not just for prevention, but just the benefits that you have using it on a daily basis. So if you would take a few minutes, Franco, and we don't want to take too much people's time here, but if you just kind of go through and explain to people what's in it and how those certain ingredients can work synergistically together, and also how they can benefit them, and why you feel they should take this product and let everybody they know about the product. Again, it's somewhat scary times. I mean, you try and downplay it, not get afraid, but it's definitely something different with this than what probably any of us have ever experienced in our entire life.
Yeah, definitely an unprecedented time that causes us to need to be cautious with our daily lifestyle. The masks are critically important, and to really do everything we can to stay as healthy as we can, so that the immune system is able to resist infection, or at least if you are infected, then to have an appropriate response. And that's what we're trying to accomplish with the technology. So we know that curcumin in general has antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal properties, and it's been used in this manner for a long time. The challenge is that curcumin itself is made up of multiple constituents, and people don't realize that there's curcumin 1, curcumin 2, curcumin 3. There are multiple constituents. And what we did was, over the last 7 years, we mapped the pharmacology of each one of these constituents so that we know exactly how each of these participates in the immune and anti-inflammatory response. And so then we were able to know which of these curcuminoids has the effect we're looking for to treat infections and things like that. Coronavirus in particular was our goal in the project. And so once we were able to show which one, then we're able to extract the right compound in curcumin, and we were able to patent and protect ourselves for that technology and with that technology, because it's highly unique. It's not regular curcumin. This curcumin is similar in terms of the properties that have similar in terms of the regular curcumin properties, the antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, yet we have heightened the level of a unique curcuminoid that inhibits a protein. It's called MSK1 for those who may be interested. And regular curcumin cannot inhibit this protein. And therefore, by inhibiting this protein in our cells, we slow down the immune response and an inflammatory response so that it's normalized in case it might have been exacerbated or amplified. And the beautiful thing you have to remember is that inflammation is the core chemistry to every single disease. It doesn't matter what disease you're dealing with. There's a core chemistry that propagates the symptoms, and that's inflammation. Inflammation in small loads and small levels of activity is required for recovery. But if it's prolonged and it's amplified, then it causes damage. And so what we're doing is kind of training the immune system to have an appropriate inflammatory response so that it's not exaggerated, and then the body's able to function normally. We've added some ingredients to that main curcumin BDMC driver. We've added some ingredients to your product, things that support, the white blood cell immobilization and immune system normalization. So there's synergistic elements that have been added, like oil of oregano. We've added olive leaf. We've added astragalus, reishi mushrooms, and not just the powder, we've actually selected the actives of each of these ones so that you have a product that's standardized and active, and we know the activity of. See, what we do here is we don't slap ingredients together so that we have this pile of ingredients that we know could do something. We actually test, and if we have time later, we can go down to the laboratory and show you what we do. We actually test the pharmacology of the finished product on human cells and human tissues to demonstrate and validate what we're accomplishing in these complex blends. And therefore, able to deliver something we know is functional and we have knowledge about. And so our claims and the things we talk about here are validated. And again, not only by us, by peer-reviewed journals that have published our papers. And then, you know, we went through 9 months of regulatory assessment, 9 months regulatory assessment for this COVID trial. We finally get approval by Health Canada. So it's not just us saying that this is a candidate application. We have the authority now to move forward on the basis of our original preliminary work based on Health Canada's review of what we have accomplished here. So it's been a very exciting time and validating time for us. And again, and validating in many ways, even with your organization, you know, taking Regenerate first. And we've seen the response that I've seen the responses on Facebook with people using Regenerate, life-changing response, because, you know, joint pain's relieved, inflammation's relieved, people say I have more energy. And that is basically a sister product to our immune product, which is more focused on immune system optimization, whereas Regenerate is great anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, rejuvenates the skin and the hair, and empowers the body to recover. Whereas, you know, the immunity product itself can do some of those things, but is more focused on immune system optimization.
That's awesome, Franco. And that's one of the things that I love about, you know, what you're doing and what you've put together, because the hardest thing for marketers in the field is that validation. You know, a lot of people are just, oh, you just have, you know, colored flour in a capsule and it's all placebo and all of these things. And it's really been hard to not necessarily argue that. I mean, that's kind of an over exaggeration of what a lot of people think in their mind, that, you know, these natural products can't work, they can't be that good. But it really is impressive that you've taken so much time. And I want to thank you for it personally, especially where we're so close to Thanksgiving here in the United States. It's something I'm thankful is for people like you that are going above and beyond and really trying to help people by doing the research so that when you bring out a product, you're extremely confident that it's going to work and actually impact people's lives. And that's really what our goal is, you know, with all of our products, is to have things that truly enhance people's lives. And so I'm extremely excited about this. I don't want to go into any, you know, future and secrets and stuff like that, but I do want to ensure everybody that we're going to continue to work extremely close with Franco. I hear great testimonials on Regenerate every single day, and we're just getting started. We haven't even been, in fact, within the next couple days, this is almost a full month from when we first launched it and got it into the marketplace. So, you know, it's just barely getting going. But nobody in our company has been on the product for a month or so. But I'm just going to hold up kind of a teaser here. You probably know what it is, Franco, but we're definitely not stopping here. We have some things that we're pretty excited about, you know, talking about with the same technology, the same studies, the same patents, the same, you know, just something that you can feel confident that if you try this as a customer, it's going to help you reach your goals and can really impact your life. But I want to urge every single person to, you know, give the Be Immune Plus a try. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is going to be the chance to literally get it. When this comes out, it'll probably be a $69.95 retail type product. And I personally think it's worth every penny of that. This is going to give customers the ability to get it at $110 for 3 month supplies. So let's end on this, Franco, unless there's anything else that you want to cover. How do you recommend that people use it? Let's go on 2 things. If you feel perfectly healthy, you feel your immune is, you know, at its peak, you don't feel, you know, damaged at all, tired, run down, how would you recommend that they take it? on a daily basis. And then if somebody maybe is starting to feel sick or is past starting to feel sick, they just feel sick, whether it's the flu, whether it's a cold, whatever it may be. How do you recommend that people take this just to have the best chance of getting the results that they are seeking? It comes in a 60 count bottle. So again, if you just give us a recommendation just for prevention and everyday
Sure.
use, and then if you come down on something, if you should stay on that dose or if you should up the dose, and how much should you up the dose?
Yeah, no, really, what I suggest normally is a saturation phase. So regardless of whether you're fighting something or not, to start with, 3 capsules a day. If you are fighting something, 4 capsules a day for 2 or 3 days. And that's it, 2 or 3 days. And then you go down to your 2 capsules a day after that. If you find, halfway through the month or at the end of the month, you're starting to feel run down, something happens, you may be, you've got the flu, a cold, then back up to, 3 or 4 a day for 2 or 3 days, and then down to 2 maintenance. So I call this saturation therapeutic dose, and then your 2 capsules a day, your maintenance dose.
Okay. And can they take too much? I mean, and is there a specific time they should take it? Should they take it first thing in the morning, empty stomach, take it with food, take it at night, just take it whenever you remember? Or what do you recommend as far as when to take it?
So I like to take it in the morning, and I do take it on an empty stomach, but I have to tell you that, there are recommendations also for taking curcuminoid, which is, it's hydrophobic. It means it likes lipophilic, it likes fat. So it's good to take it, with your meals for a lot of people if you want to improve bioavailability. So it doesn't really matter, empty stomach or with meals. I prefer empty stomach just because I feel there's a better impact that way. Now, in terms of how much, I'll tell you, I have ulcerative colitis, and I didn't go into the depth of my story, but the reason why I began the studies into anti-inflammatory activity was because of ulcerative colitis that I was diagnosed with in 1992. And this is what propagated and pretty much, motivated what I'm doing today in terms of inflammatory response. And inflammatory response, it's called an NF-kappa B signaling pathway, is what was the focus of my PhD work. But I take between 4 and 5 capsules a day every day. And if I feel my ulcerative colitis coming on, I'll probably take, 7 or 8 for 1 or 2 days. And then I go back down to my 3 to 5 a day. The reason why I take more than the average is because I'm also engaged in an anti-aging program that requires, when we're studying these parameters, requires higher doses in order to get to what I want to accomplish. And I don't recommend that for everybody, but I can tell you, I've gone spurts where I'm taking 10 capsules a day, and no toxicity. Now that's just one person, me. It's relatively safe because if you overdo it, your body just can't absorb it. So you end up just, but the recommended dose we're talking about, 3 to 4 a day on saturation, is more than enough. If you're well over 200-pound body weight, you may need 3 capsules a day for maintenance, but the average person, 2 capsules a day for maintenance suffices.
Perfect, Franco. Again, I really want to thank you for taking the time. I know you're extremely busy. I really want to thank you for, again, offering this technology to us. I know there's tons of companies that would love to, be kicking this off and helping, their customer base and stuff like that. And so I really want to thank you again for reaching out with this technology, especially when I said no at first, because we had just launched an immune product. I really appreciate you reaching back out and giving us a little bit more information and really showing us that you have something special here, something unique, and something that can definitely help people in a very, a time that they need help. So I want to thank you, Franco. And again, this is I guess the second of what I would say, I don't know about many, but maybe several products that we'll be kicking off with the science that you do. So again, I want to thank you for figuring this stuff out, and we're excited to bring it to the world, literally. And we are going to be having this go out just on Friday. Just so you know, Franco, this is going to be hitting the entire world. We're going to be going Latin America, even the continent of Africa, Asia, Europe, former Soviet Union, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Canada, going down into the Caribbean and the Bahamas and Bermuda. And so again, we're literally going to get this product all over the world this weekend. And it wouldn't be possible without you taking decades of your time, you know, and studying to bring this to the world. So we're excited that you've allowed us to do that. And, you know, we'll get the feedback over, and I'm sure we'll probably be talking on Monday or Tuesday to get another order in. So again, thanks so much. And
that's great.
You have an absolutely incredible rest of your day and rest of your week.
Dan, I want to say, you know, again, it's my pleasure. We're so happy to be working with an amazing team. You guys, I mean, you guys are the best candidates to distribute this product to the globe. And, you know, and I know that you guys are, you know, family-oriented market, and this product is a good fit for every single person in the family, from the older to the kids. And I'm hoping that, you know, we can make an impact and change some lives. Thanks to you guys and your distribution opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Franco.